Good morning, friends. Today we will discuss the topic sex determinations from third chapter of our syllabus, inheritance and the variations. Okay, let us see first what is meaning of the sex determinations. Sex determination, it is the process or it is the mechanism by which the sex of that organism will be established. This process is known as the sex determination. And today we will discuss the different mechanism of the sex determination in the different organisms. Okay. Now, in some of the organisms, that in that organism the male and the female reproductive organs are present in the same organism, so such an organism is known as the hermaphrodite in case of the animals, and in case of the plants these plants are known as the bisexual. So in these plants the both reproductive system or the both the sexes, that is the male and the female sexes will be present, sex organs are present. These plants are known as the bisexual plants. And here in the organism, means that in the animals where the both reproductive system, that is the male and the female reproductive systems are present, so such a animal is known as the hermaphrodites. For example, that is the earthworms. Then here another, that is these are also known as the monoecious. But in some of the organism the only single sex organs, means that it may be the male or the female reproductive organs are present. So such organisms are known as the unisexual, or these are also known as the dioecious. Okay, so now today we will discuss the different mechanism of the sex determination in the different organism. Let us see first the sex determinations in the human beings. Okay, in case of the human beings, the chromosomal sex determinations in the human beings is the XY type. It is the one of the type of the sex determination, that is the XX and the XY type. Okay, now we know that in the cell, inside the cell, the nucleus will be present, and inside the nucleus there are the total 46 number of the chromosome will be present in case of the human beings. So in the diploid cells there are the 23 pairs, means that the chromosomes are present in the form of the pairs, so that there is the total 23 pairs of the chromosome will be present inside the cell. And out of this 23 pairs, there is the 22 are the autosomes and one is the sex, one pair will be the sex chromosome. So here in that 46 chromosome there are the 44 are the autosomes and one pair, that is the one pair, means that there is the two chromosomes are the sex chromosome. It may be the XX or the XY chromosome. Okay. Now what happens in case of the male? In case of the male there is the 44 autosome plus X and Y chromosomes, and in case of the female there will be the 44 autosomes and the XX chromosome. Now here that autosomes, it is the one of the type of the chromosome which are responsible for the determinations of the external characteristics or the body characteristics or the somatic characteristics, and this sex chromosome, these are responsible for the determinations of that sex of that organism. So these are known as the sex chromosome. Now here when this male and the female, it will be married with each other, first these are the genotype of that male and the genotype of the female. Then first, that is the first process, that is the gamete formations, that this diploid cells in case of the male, that is the germinating cell, it undergoes the process of the spermatogenesis to produce the two type of the sperms. Okay, means that because due to the process of the meiosis, that is this diploid cell, it undergoes the process of the spermatogenesis, two type of the sperm will be produced. One type of the sperms contain the 22 autosome plus X chromosome, and another sperms contain the 22 autosome plus Y chromosome, means that there is a two different type of the sperms will be produced here. So due to this it is known as the heterogametic. Hetero means different, two different type of the gametes will be produced, hence this male, it is the heterogametic. Okay, in case of the female, it contains the 44 autosomes plus XX chromosome. But here in the there is the only when this cell in the ovaries, it undergoes the process of the oogenesis, the eggs are produces. But here that the same type of the eggs will be produces, each contain the 22 autosome plus X chromosome, and again 22 autosome plus X chromosome, means that here only one type of the eggs will be produces. Hence these is known as the homogametic. Homo means same, so that here female will be homogametic. Homogametic means that the same type of the eggs will be produces, same type of the gametes will be produces. Hence female is homogametic and male will be heterogametic. Now what happened in the process of next, that is the fertilization process. Here this sperms which contain the 22 autosome plus X chromosome, it will be fertilized with the 22 autosomes plus X chromosome. After the fertilizations, that is the 44 autosome plus XX chromosome, and here the female will be produces. Then this again this sperms will be fertilized with the eggs, and again to produce the 44 autosome plus XX chromosome, means that it is again the female. Then this 22 autosomes plus X chromosome, this sperm will be fused with the eggs. Okay, then what happens, that is here 44 autosome plus XY chromosome, and here 22 autosome plus this 22 plus X, means that X, and it produces the 44A autosome plus XY, means that it is the male. Means that here what happened, after the process of the fertilization, there is the 50% of the male and the 50% of the female will be produces. But here one of the important things, that this sperms will be responsible for the determinations of the sex of the child, and that which type of the sperm will be fused with the eggs. On that conditions, that here it will be responsible, means that this male will be responsible, means that this type of the sperm will be fused with this eggs, then it produces the female, and this will be when fused with here it produces the male. Means that on which type of the sperms will be fused with the eggs, on that conditions the sex of the child will be depend. So due to this male or the man, it will be responsible for the determinations of the sex of the child. But due to the lack of knowledge in that condition, in the modern conditions also, that is the female, it will be blamed for giving the birth of the female child. Oh, but it is wrong, female is not responsible. So the male will be responsible for the determinations of the sex of the child. Okay, now this is about the sex determinations in the human beings. Now next mechanism, next type, that is the sex determinations in the birds. Okay, in birds there will be the ZW, ZZ type of the sex determinations. Here not XX, XY in like the human beings. Here the ZW, ZZ types. These are the chromosomes. Okay. Now means that the chromosome will be represented by the ZW, ZZ. Okay. In case of the male, there is the ZZ chromosomes, and in case of the female, ZW. Here that again same types, that is the male and the female. Male, it is the diploiding conditions, and it means that the reproductive organ contain the diploid cell which contain the ZZ chromosome. Here that the same type of the chromosome will be present, and here female diploid conditions, diploid cells plus ZW, is that there is the two type of the sex chromosome will be present, that is the Z and W. Okay. Now here next stage, that is the gamete formations. Here in the gamete formations, these cells are undergoes the process of the spermatogenesis. So there is the two type of the sperm will be produces, that is the N, single N, and Z. N means N, it represent the single set of the chromosome, okay, and Z, it represent the, it is the sex chromosome. So here in the sperms of the birds, there is the same type of the chromosome, so that this sperm, both sperms will be similar, hence it is known as, hence it is the homogametic in conditions. Homo means same, so here that the same type of the both gametes will be same. Why both gametes will be same? Because that the chromosomes, this chromosome will be same, hence it is no, hence it is the homogametic in condition. In case of the females, again in the reproductive organ, in the ovaries, the cell will be diploid in conditions, and each cell, it contains the two type of the sperms, two type of the sex chromosome, that is the Z and ZW, and it produces here that two type of the gametes and two type of the eggs. Hence this female will be heterogametic, and then again two type of the eggs will be produces. And here in the, after the process of the fertilizations, that is the male and the female will be produces. And here one of the important thing, that is the, this female, it will be heterogametic in conditions, so that this female will be responsible for the determinations of the sex of that young ones. So here not male, here the female. In case of the human beings, male will be responsible. In case of the birds, opposite of this human beings, that female is not responsible, male is not responsible, female will be responsible for the determinations of the sex of that young ones, okay. Now third mechanism, that is the sex determinations in honeybees. Honeybees, we know that about the honeybees, that how this sex will be determined in the honeybees. There is the another mechanism, another type, that is the haplodiploid type of the mechanism, which will be determine the sex of the child or sex of that new young ones. It will be depends, means that the sex determination in the honeybees, in honeybees, the sex of that individual will be determined by the number of the set of the chromosome will be received. On that conditions, this sex of that child or the young ones will be determined. And that how many, or the number of the set of the chromosomes, okay. In case of the female honeybees, that is the queen, in the queen it will be diploid in conditions, female will be diploid in conditions, and male it will be haploid in condition. In the diploid conditions, it contains the 32 number of the chromosomes, and in male there is the 16 chromosome will be present, okay. Now female, this female, this reproductive organs, this cell which will be diploid in conditions, it undergoes the process of the meiosis in general process, that two gametes will be produced, or the two eggs will be produced, which contain the 16 chromosome and 16 chromosome. Meiosis process, there is the reduction divisions. Reduction division means there is the half chromosome number will be reduced to half, so that after the division of the cell, that the daughter cell contains the 16 chromosome and the 16 chromosome, okay. Now here in case of the male, the reproductive cells will be haploid in conditions, the number of the chromosome will be 16. Then these reproductive cells are not undergoes the process of the meiosis, these are undergoes the mitosis, so that the chromosome number will be same. So this sperms, it contains the 16 chromosome, okay. Now next stage, that is the process of the fertilizations. What happened in the process of the fertilization? This female gametes, it will be fused with the male gametes, and again to produces the diploid zygote, and this zygote, it contains the 32 number of the chromosome. It is diploid in condition, and it produces the worker or the queen. Okay, and that it is a diploid female, and this female, it may be the worker or the queen. Now what happens? Which zygote will be produces, or which zygote will be developed into the worker, or which type of the zygote will be developed into the queen? It is the most interesting facts here. That is, it will be depends upon the food which will be consumed by that larval conditions of that zygote. Means that zygote, it is developed into the embryo, and this embryo, it is converted into the larvae, and this larvae, it will be feeding which type of the food. This condition will be depends upon the development of this worker or the queen. When this larvae feeding on the royal jelly, so it will be developed into the queen, and the other larvae, it will be developed into the worker. So this is the most important thing. Another important things here, right? Another interesting facts, that this another eggs, female gamete or the another eggs, it undergoes the process. It is not here the fertilization process. It will be developed directly into the new organism or new zygote, and this zygote will be male. Means that this eggs without fertilization means that it is the process of parthenogenesis. Okay, so in the process of parthenogenesis, that the gametes will be without fertilization, this eggs will be produced into the zygote, and it is the haploid in condition, and it produces the male. Okay, so these are the different mechanism which determine the sex of that new young ones which will be produced by this organism. It will be different. In case of the human beings, that is, the male will be responsible for the determinations of the sex of the child. In case of the birds, that is, the female will be responsible for the determinations of the sex of the young ones. And in case of the honeybees, there is not depends on the male or the female. It will be depends on the number of the sets of the chromosomes. That the number of the sets of the chromosome will be received by that zygote. This condition will be depends on that sex determination. So here these are the most important topic as a related for the examination point of views. Suppose you can like my videos, and or any changes or any suggestion, you can write in the comment box, and if you like my video, then share it to your friends. Okay, thank you very much. Thanks. Okay.